Stephanie Milky here, aka KetoMOM, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the KetoMOM podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the KetoMOM Secrets podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the KetoMOM Facebook page. This is
Stephanie Milky,
my amazing husband Steve.
KetoMOM.
And we are going to dive into some very tactical how to get started, like where we started, things that we did on our low carb keto journey, and we're just going to help create a picture of, it really started with my husband, but like where we started, how to get started, simple little things that you can do if you're just getting started or you need to restart. There's a lot of starts, but really,
and it's okay to restart.
And it is okay to restart. And sometimes people restart every single day, but the point is to start creating little habits, small little steps over time. And I feel like we did that, especially in the first year. And then over time, it's been 7 years. For you, it's been about 9.
It's true.
On this health journey, whatever your health journey looks like. So, real quick, I need you to do 2 things. Let us know where you're tuning in from.
Number 1.
Press the share button.
Oh, that's
sharing
the
is
thing.
caring. Yeah.
Share. Take a friend down below. 3 things.
Or what would be something fun to answer? I mean, if you're watching live, it's a Saturday afternoon.
To be tracking stuff today. Remember?
Today is tracking day. So if you've been watching all this last week, we went through this we're going through it. We're not going to specifically go through a specific chapter today. I want to give you some things to really take action on. And if you watched yesterday and the day before, we really talked about tracking everything you do for 1 week. Not everything, like choosing one thing. So we talked about if you need better relationships, better finances, better health, taking a small little notebook, keeping it in your pocket or your purse, and tracking everything related to that topic for 1 week.
So true.
Right?
I started using a fitness tracker to help me just keep track of my caloric intake. Stephanie she didn't nudge me into it, but I felt like when we were talking about it 2 days ago, I felt like that message was just for me. So I applied it. Worked really well. I'll just keep you up to date. This is where we're at. Worked well the first day. Yesterday we went to Universal, so it was like a buffet for lunch at 2:00.
Which wasn't
super
you could
hungry.
Choose
It's
wisely.
true, but I didn't.
Okay.
I'm just being honest with them. I did not choose wisely. I chose some random stuff that wasn't in the tracker. And then today, though, I've been doing great.
Right.
Eggs.
Turkey bacon.
Yes, more eggs.
Ketones.
And ketones. Like, these are easy things to track.
So we're going to just give you our story, and hopefully you get some ideas of how to get started to not mess up good for perfect. If you tune in the mornings, this is a book that we've been going through, and I just want to read one sentence to you. And he says, the earlier you start making small changes, the more powerful the compound effect starts to play. And the compound effect is simply small changes over time will ripple into really fast momentum as you get it going and start kicking some bad habits and creating new ones.
So as you create new habits, so if I hear what you're saying, you create new habits, it compounds the positive effect to work in your favor.
Right. The key is to start now.
Every
great action, every fantastic adventure starts with small steps. The first step is always looks harder than it usually is.
That's so true.
So if you are on that health journey, which most of you are, I hope that yesterday you got a notebook out and you're going to start tracking every single thing you put into your mouth. If you have not done that and you didn't watch yesterday's live or the earlier lives, really what he says is what gets measured.
Gets managed.
Gets managed. What gets measured gets managed. So
what gets tracked gets managed.
Right.
And honestly, I love this whole saying, data drives decisions. So often we just base what we do based upon how we feel. Whatever's in that current moment. But the reality is data drives decisions.
Right.
And I mean, there's a lot of people who come to the KetoMOM community because of the fact that they're like, I need to lose blah, right? But the reality is, are you tracking? Or are you just going with how you feel? Because usually, I notice this, when I don't feel the happiest, I usually eat the things I shouldn't be eating.
Right.
I.e. peanut butter M&Ms. don't do it. It's not worth it.
All right. So if we were going to give you some tactical advice on how to get started, number one, tracking your food even for a week or tracking everything you put into your mouth can be super powerful as a visual for you. Get out a notebook. He uses MyFitnessPal, or you could use a carb counter, or you could use the good old paper and pen. And every time you put something, or you're going to put something in your mouth, you're going to eat it, I want you to write it down. Because if you are doing that, you're going to have a visual of, do I really want to write the peanut butter M&Ms on the notebook?
It's true.
Do I really want to put that in my tracker? I actually don't, so I'm not going to eat them. Or, hey, I actually took it up a notch and I asked my friend to every day ask me at the end of the day how my eating went, and I have to turn in my log to her, which means I don't want her to be like, why are you eating all the M&Ms and the cookies? Like, you said you had goals, right? If we were going to do this, I would say, hey, babe, let me look at your tracker today. And he'd be like, ugh. Yes.
You can check out my tracker whenever you want. Do they want to hear our story?
All right. So tell me how you got started, because this KetoMOM page basically started with Steve and his fat loss journey.
It is true. Like, you had KetoMOM, I had Keto Dad. You stayed consistent, I didn't. But you want to go to the way back?
I want to know what you did to get yourself on track and where you are today, like the small steps. Like, how do people get small steps in play?
I do love the beginning of our story. And I love where we're at right now. And I'll let Stephanie fill in the middle because she's very direct. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to hear our story, share this message, tag a friend, and give me how you're feeling in the comment box with an emoji. I want to see how you're feeling.
If you had to choose an emoji that picked how you were feeling at this very moment, doesn't have to be a great one. It can be a great one.
I'd pick multiple. I'd pick a rhino with fire coming behind it. I love that emoji. I made it up.
I would pick a purple heart because I actually just feel happy.
We do like the purple heart too. I
use it a lot.
This morning I got to our friend Brian took me, and he just got a new vehicle, and it's like my dream car.
It's like his dream car.
And I want to make it happen. So I called it my R8 Dream Drive. It's an Audi R8.
Hey, I'm not seeing any emojis. How are you feeling today? Post the emoji.
I see one of these, a unicorn.
Of how you're feeling. Oh, a unicorn. I like that. So you went on your Dream Drive with your car.
And it just made me realize, you know what? I'm thankful to have people in my life who just create the ability for me to dream. Like, they push me to dream.
Yeah. All right.
Or I shouldn't say they push. They give me opportunities to choose to dream.
I love it.
All right. So it was 9 years ago. I had been studying about ketones. There's this thing called fat coffee back in the day. And at this time, we lived in Oklahoma. I had a lot of great friends. And every morning I would pack out our double car garage in the sweltering heat of Oklahoma.
Do we have a double car or a single car?
Well, it was a double garage, but one big door.
Oh, okay.
Probably felt like a single to you, but it really was a double garage. But I had inserted pull-up bars from the rafters.
You basically made a gym in our garage.
It's like 95 degrees, like working out in a sauna every day, every morning, super hot in Oklahoma. And I was so thankful for these guys because they were committed and we were all in. Like, we were there for each other. We cheered each other on. We pushed each other. And having that community, that accountability, it is crucial with anything that you go at in life. And we'll talk about this later, like where you could get plugged in if you feel like, I'm kind of by myself on my own little island. Let's come up with a game plan to fix that. But here's the reality. I was crushing it. Stephanie showed me a video the other day. She's like, man, you were skinny. Look at how skinny you were.
He didn't have a lot of muscle. He was like skinny.
No,
you were like lean, skinny. You're muscular right now.
Thanks. I do feel strong. But every day I worked out with these guys and we had my food dialed in. And at this time I was hearing about biohacking. This was a new concept that was going on back then. And this fat coffee. But really, ketones were the thing that kind of triggered me. I was like, ooh, these things sound cool. Like, it's a new energy source. Well, how do you do it? You have to follow this crazy strict diet. I was like, I'm not into all of that. Like, are you telling me I can't eat any of those things?
But you did it.
Not quite then, because I was still super fit.
All right. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Right?
I'll be quiet till I have to say something.
We moved to Minnesota. Why? Because we have 4 daughters. We homeschool. And all of our family of origin were in Minnesota. And Stephanie really, really loves her family. I really love my family as well. Stephanie really loves her family. And we have great-grandparents and grandparents and lots of great cousins.
And everybody in this little town
was in
Minnesota.
This small little town. And so we thought, we should probably move back because it's important for our kids to grow up with family, which I do believe that is important if you have the ability to do so. So we moved back. And when we moved back, we didn't have a job, but we were like full of faith, like this is what we were supposed to do. When we moved back, I didn't get to bring those workout partners with me.
He lost his community of people.
I did. I lost that, but what I gained was a whole bunch of birthday parties.
He gained the family back, which also gave us
carbs,
a ridiculous amount of parties.
Like every other day.
Anybody else ever deal with that? Like
always celebrating something.
I'll start next week.
And
There's
why
a party
does
this
every
week.
celebration have to have cake involved?
Right. Holidays, birthdays,
you can't be ripped in
party days
cake too. It just doesn't work that way that often. Right. So one day, so here I am working at this really cool. I had a really cool job. A good friend of ours gave me a job where I was editing video and I was a contractor, but I had to dress up. So fancy shirt and khaki pants, right? Mm-hmm. So showing up. I come home, I would just be totally exhausted, not working out, tired. 4 kids at home. Stephanie just needed a break. She needed her naps. Like this is where we were at. Right.
It was 2013. It was a tired year.
We were super thankful, living paycheck to paycheck. We weren't able to live and give like we wanted to, but we never went without.
Right.
And here's where it got crazy. One morning, I'm going to put my work pants on, and they kind of get stuck like right there.
You guys.
I couldn't get them all the way up. They were just kind of stuck. And I looked over at Stephanie, and I stepped on the scale before I said anything to her, and I saw this number I had never seen before, and I thought, whoa. It must be the muscle.
Must be the muscle.
But I wasn't working out. So then I thought, oh, she had to have. Yep, she did. So I looked over to her and I said, sweetheart, did you shrink my pants?
You guys, this is a real story.
Did you shrink them?
Did you shrink my pants?
Had to have
and I
shrunk my
looked at
pants.
him and I said, no, you've been eating too many cupcakes. You guys, like 50 pounds.
Can anybody relate with me? Anybody ever been there?
I think most people in the last 2 years could probably relate because I get comments like of this all the time. Hey, I was doing really great and then I got stuck at home.
Okay, so when I realized the look that she gave me told me that she didn't shrink my pants, I knew that we had a challenge. And I knew there was an opportunity. And in my mind, I knew exactly what I had to do. Ding, 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 ketones.
Okay, stop for 2 seconds. You knew what you needed to do.
That's where I was going. I'm glad you picked up on that.
On here, I can bet that if we were to say, if you message me and you were Steve and you're like, hey, I need to lose 50 pounds, there's things I can ask you, right?
I like
a lot of it
cupcakes,
starts
Cindy.
with awareness. Like,
that's true.
Okay, you've already done it before. Many of you on here have already done it before. You've lost the 10, the 15, the 20 pounds. You've done the keto diet. You know what you need to do. Did you guys catch that? He knew what he needed to do. Sorry, keep going. I just need people to understand this because sometimes they think I don't know where to start. Yes, you do.
You do know.
You know.
You do know. You just have to
wake
make
up
the choice
every day
if you want
choosing,
to do.
I'm going to drink the water, I'm going to drink the soda.
It's true.
I'm going to go to the gym in the morning. Like we went for a walk, a bike ride, like we were outside all morning. Like you need to move your body.
Yep.
You should probably get more sleep instead of scrolling social media till 2 a.m.
It's true. Don't
You should eat the donut in the morning. Like this morning, I made some eggs and some turkey bacon. Like, you know what you need to do. It's
Here's
just a
what's
matter
so great,
of making that choice.
Remember, now this was 8 years ago. Okay, now we're sitting at the 8-year timeline. At that time, I knew of the ketogenic diet, I knew of fat coffee, and I heard the power of ketones.
Right.
So, what did I do? I did what I knew I had to do. Regardless of what the people around me, as crazy as she thought I was like, all right, here we go. We're going for chicken. We're going for broccoli. We're going for cauliflower. Salads. We're eating high fat. We're eating butter. We're adding butter to things, everything. Like all fat, super no carb, and some protein. And I thought, let's give this a shot. So I
did not do this with him, by the way.
She thought I was a basket case. I'm eating separate meals. She's
so
tempting me with all the hot
food.
dishes, and I'm passing up all this stuff at the stores, at the stores, and at the birthday parties that are still there. I'm just choosing not to eat any of this stuff.
And I am taking care of 4 crying children. Not really, they're great kids, but you know what I mean, like babies. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to measure my food. I had like 10 pounds of baby weight that I wanted to get off, but I was not going to do what he was doing.
It's true. Man, myth, and
We're
legend.
talking on a live.
So here we go, straight up keto diet, and it was crazy. Everyone around me thought I was absolutely nuts. Yes. But the reality is, I knew what I had to do, and I made the decision to just go for it, regardless of what people said. And then one day, I came across this doctor named Dr. Dominic D'Agostino.
Oh, yeah.
And he and I were actually chatting back and forth about the ketogenic diet. And he said, you should look into something called exogenous ketones. And I thought, what? Like, you can drink something that the diet can do for you? That didn't make any sense to me. So I Googled, and I came across this Facebook page called Prove It. At this time, the company was not public. They had just launched it. It had 10 likes on the Facebook page. 10. I'll never forget. It had a picture of Einstein. Hey, Annie Boo. Annie, could you come and just close this door for us? So I find this Facebook page called Prove It. It had 10 likes and a little picture of this ripped Einstein with a packet of ketones. And I thought, what is this? I don't know what it is, but I just knew I had to get my hands on it. So Google some more. That night I get on a phone call with a guy named Michael Rutherford. I walked around the house 3 hours. We talked about our story, talked about ketones. Stephanie's sleeping because at this time she's an exhausted mom. And I just decided we didn't have the funds for it, but I knew that this was something that I truly felt like could help lots of people. So I placed the order for the stuff that Stephanie has in her hands right here. She woke up in the morning and she knew something was up. Like, I had this look on my face. I was like, I did something crazy last night. I ordered ketone. She's like, what? You ordered what? Like, how much did that cost? That was the first thing she said. I was like, sweetheart. She's like,
remember what you said?
Is this one of those things? I remember her yelling, like, is this one of those things? I was like, I don't know if it's one of those things. I hope it's one of those things. I don't really know if it's one of those things. But if it is one of those things, I said, this product, if it works, it's going to change thousands of people's lives. Okay? She was like, whatever. He seemed excited. I went to work. I'm feeling great at this time because I've been following the keto diet, right?
So he tried that, just so you know, you had been doing the keto diet on and off.
She still thought I was crazy.
For almost a year.
She still thought I was crazy.
And he was able to lose most of the weight, but it wasn't easy. Like, every time I made a meal, he'd fall out of ketosis. Every time he did something different, he'd fall out of ketosis. But I could tell a difference as he was doing this diet for a certain period of time. But in general, every person that joined you, do you remember you had about 5 guys? Well, there were some guys that he was working with that started, and everybody else fell off the bandwagon.
It's challenging. I mean, there are so many people. I hear Stephanie answer so many questions all the time, and it's the same thing. I did the keto diet, I fell off. I did it again, I fell off. Or I did it, and then I gained all the weight back. Like, it's this perpetual thing. So we got to help you find a lifestyle that works for you.
Correct.
So here's what's key. 3 days later, the packets show up. And a canister. And I was so fired up. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. And she grabs the packet. At the time, it was not Groovy Great, but it was a packet that was all white, had a sticker placed on it. And she's like, do you remember this? She looks at me and she's like, I will drink your packet.
Well, he asked me to drink it. He's like, try it.
I'm trying my best. But like, she's like, I will drink this packet,
I was that.
But I will never share it with anybody.
I don't think my face looked like that. I think it was like, yes, dear honey bun.
No. I can still see it.
I will drink this packet.
It's embedded right here.
Listen.
Adamant. I'm not going to share this product. So that day, she went to a mom's convention. It was for homeschool moms. She ripped open the packet.
I took the packet with me. I shook it up. I drank it. And I called him as I was at this conference. And I was like,
30 minutes.
It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. I said, hey,
we should get into the story. We'll share the story for the day where we met that guy.
I said, hey, babe.
In San Diego.
I don't know what this is, but I shook it up. I drank it just like it's as easy as grabbing some water, putting it in a shaker bottle. I shook it up, and I was pretty much the only mom at 3 o'clock awake because we were sitting at a conference all day.
I'm at work, and every 30 minutes she's texting me a picture of a pee strip.
What is this? And I was sneaking in the bathroom, peeing on strips. I was not doing the keto diet, mind you, at this time. I was legitimately surviving as a mom. Surviving, right?
And back then she said, I'm just a mom. We're going to talk about that in just a second.
Yeah.
But back then, she thought she was just a mom. So she is sending me pictures of pee sticks every 30 minutes. And I'll never forget, she calls me. She's like, what's in this stuff? I feel amazing. All these moms are sleeping around me. What is going on? Like, everyone's sleeping. And she's like, I know I said I wasn't going to share this stuff, but I ran out of my packets. I gave all the moms the packets around.
And I said, you better make sure we have some more.
Isn't that funny?
So here's what I want people to understand. As you're coming to this page, like, we want to give you different tips and tricks and ideas. But the concept of the ketogenic diet in general honestly started from a medical perspective. Mm-hmm. And most people don't stick with it long term. I had a girl message me this morning and she's like, hey, she said, my friend told me I can't do the keto diet. And I said, well, I said, from what I've experienced and people telling me, they don't last very long. They go in and out of ketosis. And she's like, is it even healthy? And I said, most people are not even having their body make ketones. Like, low carb is great. It's sustainable. There's a difference. So when you hear Steve's story and he was eating a whole bunch of fat and very little carbs, he was doing the keto diet actually right. If you catch me on lives, for the most part throughout the week, I'll tell people, and if you message me and you're like, I don't know why this isn't working, usually you're over consuming fat. And you might be going, how is that possible? Because I hear keto diet and I hear I can eat all the fat I want.
So true.
I need people to understand this. It's super important. You cannot eat all the fat that you want and then eat a low carb diet. It doesn't work that way. If you're going to do the keto diet properly, you're going to do it where you're tracking your food. Sure, you can eat the 80% fat, but you're going to have to be seriously low carb. Hopefully your body will make ketones. And while it's great, most people do it for medical reasons long term. They don't understand the concept of, oh, I can't just eat bacon and butter. That's not what this is. A true lifestyle for us became a low carb. We're in ketosis because we're drinking ketones, and these are our fuel source, but like simple things, buns off the burgers, croutons off the salad. I'll add an avocado to the salad, but I'm not over consuming fat if I'm not super low carb. Does this make sense? Like, you can't eat whatever you want as much as you want. Often I tell people,
so good. Are
you hungry? Like, we had to figure out our own bodies. This isn't a one size fits all. This is are you hungry? Are you bored? Hey, do you want to learn about intermittent fasting or do you want to eat breakfast? Hey, let's work on your water consumption. Let's move your body. Let's actually pay attention to what your body's telling you. And we have a tool that we've been drinking since the time he handed me the packet to make sure that we've got ketones in our system. Some of you use energy drinks. I've got some of my very best friends that go through Starbucks coffee every single day, multiple times a day, because they have a little bit of coffee with their sugar, but it gives them that quick high, and then they crash, right? And so ketones, whether your body's making them or you drink them, they're a long sustained energy. You feel great. They fuel your brain, right? And so this is where I started. My husband handed me the packet. I drank it. Today we've got some incredible flavors. Back then we had one. And this is how we help people get started. You don't have to go through the keto flu. You don't have to feel like garbage. You don't have to. We can work on making better choices, right? Like, you went to the buffet. You could either have chosen pasta or the salad bar, all of the meats or the potatoes. You choose either or, and we're going to help you with that.
For sure.
So as you keep sharing your story and as we plug this in, I want you to know that there's different ways to try the product. We have an incredible challenge kit where you get a variety of flavors to trial it and just see what you think. We've got different trial packs. So if you've never tried, I call it mom fuel. He calls it dad fuel. We've got people that just say people fuel, right? Maybe you're not a parent. You don't have to be. It's for anybody and everybody, but I want you to post trial in the comments so that we can chat. Because I want to ask you, what are your goals? How are you eating? Are you moving your body? Like, let's work on your mindset, and we're going to try the product. You don't have to wait 90 days to feel it. You can feel it right away.
And this is why we're positioned to be in the perfect spot.
Right.
Because we're sitting here in Orlando. We are with some great people, great community. And no matter what it is that you're focused on, I just saw a comment below, like, I can eat whatever I want. That's true. You know what? You can. The great thing about this is a fuel source. You put it in your body, you're going to feel absolutely amazing. There's so many benefits to it.
Right.
If you're like, well, I got this part under control and my food is the challenge, well, guess what? We have Prove It meals. You can eat meals. They'll deliver it fresh right to your door. Grab those.
Or we can help you, give you some. I have a whole foods list, like a foods list of basic concepts of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you just need I just need to get started. I need some recipes. How do I what do my meals and my snacks, what could it kind of look like? Post food in the comments and I'll get you that. It's super simple. It's not a whole bunch of crazy recipes. It's how we started the first couple years. And all we did is we made the most simple recipes ever. We were like, okay, less pasta, potatoes, more eggs, simple veggies, salads, drink ketones every day. We worked on our water consumption. We did that very simply. Like, ABC's awareness.
1, 2, 3.
Am I hungry? Am I going to eat breakfast? Am I going to intermittent fast? What's a great lunch option? What's in front of me? Either or. And then we drank our water. We went for walks. We moved our body. If you want that list, you guys, it's nothing elaborate. It is not. I'm not a nutritionist. We're not doctors. We've learned a lot from them. We have some great friends that are in those positions. We actually just met with Dr. Ryan Lowry, who formulated the product a couple days ago. And he's more excited today, 7 years later, than he was in the beginning, because he's understanding the power of ketones in the brain and what it's doing for muscle preservation and what it's doing in people's bodies. Fat loss is great. And the appetite control is great, but what it's truly doing as a fuel source for people's bodies is unbelievable. So sure, post food below, and I'll give you that list. I would love to know your goals and how to help you. I would say for sure you need to trial the product. Yes. Post trial below, because it's incredible.
That's where it all starts. If you're not using this, hit the chat thread, hit the description box, type in trial. Let's get you going with this. It's where it starts. Next step, food. If you want to know more about food, either if you want to deliver to your door, which I'd highly recommend, or to get the list, work with Stephanie, type in food. And honestly, this is what it's all about. If you do not have a group of people, like a tribe of people that you're connected with, you're plugged in with, good luck. You're going to be like me when I moved from Oklahoma to Minnesota, kind of trying to figure stuff out by my own. Like, it's not a good place to be. Community matters, people matter, and people need people. We're here in a lovely, amazing, beautiful place. We get to hang out with some great friends that we've met because of our Prove It community. And if you're sitting there and you're watching this and you're like, oh, you know what? I do some of these things that you're talking about. I'm working on my mindset. I want to become the best version of myself. We want to invite you to be a part of what we do. Like for Stephanie, you saw the face that I gave you earlier. You heard it in my voice of like, I will never talk about these. Well, what she didn't tell you about was that day, the very first day she went to bed that night, she had a dream. She woke up the next day and she said, Steve, I had this crazy dream. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I know I need to start something. Like, I need to start a Facebook page. I need to call it KetoMOM. I thought, cool, you start KetoMOM. I'll start Keto Dad. We'll work this together. We'll share our story. We didn't know where it was going to go, but this is what we did know. When we found the product, we found the company. We were a part of a community. We felt needed. We felt known. We jumped in. We didn't know what we were doing. It was like inspiration on fire, but we knew we had something that was helping people. When I told her, if this product works, it's going to help thousands of people's lives, I didn't know it would be millions. Didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know back then what I know now, and this is what I know. Mission and vision matters. Being a part of a community matters. Working with Stephanie matters. I can promise you, work with me. It
He's
matters.
better than I am.
We're great together.
An amazing person.
But the reality is, like, we're surrounded by people who have raised our level of life, to have raised our level of standards. And if you want to be a part of that, we want to invite you into that. So if you want to know more about what that means, I want you to type in team down below, type in community, or shoot her a message. Send me a message, Steve Melky on Instagram.
Yeah.
Go for it. Because this is the one thing I need you to hear, and I hope that you feel our heart. That this is a community where people are needed and known, and you have value and you have greatness inside of you, and we want to pull that out, and we want to go help create that in your community, in your neighborhood, in your state, it just matters. Like, it does matter. And so I just want to invite you, if you feel like, I don't know, I'm kind of by myself. I'm doing great things. I want to help other people. I don't know where to get started. Right. We want to invite you into that. It's changed our entire life.
It really has. It really has. Super blessed, super thankful, feel great. We hear stories every day of people trialing the product, loving it for themselves. I just was on the phone with another girl this morning. I have a phone call later this afternoon with another lady who's like, all right, Stephanie, I love ketones. What do I have to do to share it with my friends? How do I become a part of this community? Or, hey, teach me about mindset, or tell me more about what this is. Or even people just going, okay, the diet is hard. Not that I can't do hard, right? Part of this is like, you might be like Steve and I were in the beginning, where I didn't support anything that he was doing with his diet for 2 years. Remember, if you're going through the book with us, you have to have ownership of 100% of what you're doing. A community could be online, like the KetoMOM page. It could be a part of our Prove It community. But just making sure that you go, okay, I'm going to do this. He did it without me. He looked at me one day and he said, I'm going to do this. I need to lose 50 pounds, whether you join me or not.
Kind of like this Florida trip.
Correct. Often he's a visionary, and I follow right along. And so know that right now it might be like, yeah, but it's only me. No, it's you and us. Like, we're here for you. You can send me a message and we'll answer it right away. We will answer it within this day. We'll have some conversations and get you some resources. And there's more to it, right? If you love the product and you want to be a part of the community, like, we welcome anybody, and it's been just life-changing for ourselves and our children.
All right, so this is what we're looking for. We're looking for people who are ready to jump into their best life ever. We're looking for people that they embrace challenges, they embrace obstacles, and they believe that the best is yet to come. We're looking for people who want to start with a trial, people who want to eat better food, feel better, just feel better. Then what we're looking for is we're looking for people who want to jump all in. When we got started, there was one option only. Now you can get started with lots of different options, but we're inviting you to join our team as a promoter. We want you to show up to the events. We want you to have conversations that kind of make you a little bit uncomfortable, but are going to grow you in the pursuit of you stepping into your best life. Outside of that, you're going to be connected, super connected with Stephanie and I. We're going to help you every single step along the way. And this is what I can promise you. We will commit to you what you commit to us. The more that you go, the more that you grow, the more that you just step into your greatness, because greatness made you. The more you step into it, the more we're going to be right there by your side. Show up. 90% of life is showing up. Join us at some future events. As we travel, book the plane ticket, head to the place, show up at the meeting, and be surrounded by great people.
We're actually currently planning a fun event at our home this summer. We've got people coming in to collaborate, to be around each other. It's going to be super fun.
So that's what we're looking for. And I hope that if any part of that resonates with you, I hope that you shoot us a message. Let us know what you're thinking, and let's see and figure out together what your best next step is.
Right. Get in where you fit in. If you've never tried the product, try the product. If you just need to get started with food, post food below. If you want to join us as a promoter, whatever it is, we welcome you. It'll be fun.
I love it.
All right. Anything else?
Nope,
Our kids are in the pool. We're going to go join them for a little bit.
All right. Appreciate you all.
Okay. I look forward to chatting with lots of you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you very soon.
See ya.
Bye.